Today on DC News Now, Sunshine Friday to kick off your weekend. Weather forecaster Brittany Ward has the latest from the Weather Center.
Cleanup efforts still underway after protesters supporting Palestine deface Columbus Circle here, why it still could take a couple more days.
Michelle and I couldn't be prouder to endorse you.
Then the newest endorsement for Vice President Kamala Harris. Plus, how you can watch the summer games across the district no matter the hour. And good afternoon, and thank you for joining us for DC News Now at noon. I'm Mark Hall. Taking a live look outside on this Friday. There is no rain in sight, the first time in a day. So it looks pretty good to kick off your weekend. Weather forecaster Brittany Ward is in for Damon Matson this afternoon, and she joins us for the latest check on the forecast. All right, Brittany, just give it to us. The weekend's about to begin.
Yeah.
You have some good news, I hope.
I have some gorgeous news. It's going to be an amazing weekend, guys. So enjoy it. We are tracking sunshine both Saturday and Sunday, Mark, and we're also tracking warmer temperatures. So overall, not looking too bad here in the DMV. Satellite and radar, though, still showing you we are holding on to a few clouds across portions of the area, but we'll start to see those clouds give away to sunshine as we head through the rest of your day. Now, our good friend high pressure just off to the north, that's going to continue to slip north as we head through your Friday, your Saturday, and even for your Sunday, providing us with those quiet conditions. And also, we're going to be dealing with lower humidity values. So temperature stepping out the door for any lunch plans right now, still fairly on the warm side. We're talking upper 70s here in the nation's capital, 79 in DC, lower 80s as you head over there to Lexington Park, 81 currently in Frederick, still holding on to the 70s back out to the north and the west. But you factor in those dew point temperatures, we are slowly starting to see a dip in those humidity values. Dew points across much of the area already sitting in the 50s, giving us that comfortable feeling. But as you head further off to the south, still holding on to the lower 60s, especially when you head over there to Orange. So keep it here, Mark. We'll have a look at your weekend plans coming up.
Brittany, thank you. Developing now in the district, DC Fire investigating 2 arsons at the same apartment complex in Southeast. DC News Now's Leonard and Fleming joining us this afternoon. Leonard, what can you tell us?
DC fire officials tell me they are still searching for the man who allegedly set these fires right in back of me at this apartment. A cousin of the unidentified man who allegedly set the fire in her apartment told me he is mentally ill. DC fire officials responded to an apartment fire on the first floor just before 9 a.m. on Suitland Terrace. That apartment had already been burned the morning before. Sharonine Stevenson tells me that she and her 2 young children barely escaped Thursday morning's fire and were not home when this morning's fire happened.
We don't really have nowhere stable to stay. We were waiting it out. Yesterday I had to barricade myself in the house. All last night I'm on edge. I will not go to sleep. But yes, if I would have made the decision to stay there, we would have been in there, and we could have been not here.
Fire officials tell me that 4 people have been displaced from this apartment complex, and the Red Cross is now involved to try to get them housing. Reporting from Southeast, Leonard and Fleming, DC News Now. Back to you.
Leonard, thank you. Today, Minnesota Vikings rookie Kyrie Jackson and former Wise High School football player Isaiah Hazel are being laid to rest. They were 2 of the 3 men killed in a car crash in Prince George's County in early July. DC News Now's Jean-Marie Sisse has more.
Yeah, you can see the parking lot here at First Baptist Church of Glenarden is packed, and that just goes to show how much 24-year-old Kyrie Jackson and 23-year-old Isaiah Hazel are loved by so many. Now, with the support and love from so many in the community, both families are finally saying their last goodbyes. Jackson, Hazel, and 24-year-old Anthony Linton Jr. played football together during their time at Wise High School. Each of them continued their love for playing football, but that came to a tragic end on July 6 around 3:15 a.m. The 3 were in a car on Route 4 Pennsylvania Avenue in Upper Marlboro when they were hit by another vehicle driving at high speed. They all knew each other. Family members say each of these men had a bright future ahead of them. Hazel and Linton Jr. were continuing their education, and Jackson was just drafted to the Vikings in April. Loved ones say they would continue to keep their legacy alive.
They were all very remarkable young men. They showed what it means to persevere. They displayed perseverance in their post-secondary careers.
Linton Jr. was laid to rest on Tuesday, and as for Hazel and Jackson, we'll bring you more on their funeral services later today. Reporting the Upper Marlboro, I'm Yamari Sase, DC News Now.
Marie, thank you. We now know the name of the man killed in an overnight shooting on 1st Street in Southeast. Police say Calvin Moore died at the hospital. They're still searching for the gunman. If you have any information, you're asked to contact police. And police arrested a man in connection to a gold bar scheme in Montgomery County. They say 52-year-old man convinced the victim to convert his money into gold to protect their assets. 10 similar incidents happened between March and May, and another as recently as July 17th. Police say that one incident caused a woman to lose nearly $1 million. Detectives arrested the suspect in a recent sting operation. And a man accused of sneaking into stores by creating holes in the ceiling to steal is now in custody. Now, you're looking at a map showing where those locations are across the district. Police say 29-year-old Don Chase started burglarizing businesses back in January, hitting a total of 10 before getting arrested. Chase is facing several charges, including carrying a pistol without a license, possession of a controlled substance, and resisting arrest. Another CVS in the district is closing its doors. The Kennedy Street location in Northwest closed Tuesday. CVS representative told a D.C. judge they believe repeated thefts are the reason why CVS stores are closing across the district. One person we used to work with there says that reasons does not surprise her. She also says the closure will have a notable impact on the community.
If they do get caught, we will see them the next day come in and take some more stuff. So definitely a letdown because we had a lot of senior residents that live in the community, and this was very convenient for them to come in and get their medications.
CVS tells DC News Now that the closures are part of a plan developed in 2021. They say population shifts and stores density are main reasons that they are closing many of the stores. DC News Now is your local election headquarters. Former President Barack Obama and former First Lady Michelle Obama endorsing Vice President Kamala Harris in her presidential run. The former president and First Lady announced their support for Harris on social media. This comes a few days ahead of the vice president's campaign event in Atlanta. So far, she has reportedly received enough delegates to become the Democratic nominee.
Call to say Michelle and I couldn't be prouder to endorse you and to do everything we can to get you through this election and into the Oval Office.
Harris has known the Obamas since before he was elected in 2008. She thanked them for their friendship, and she said that she looks forward to getting their support on the campaign trail when she hits the road with the theme in with the next month or so when the blitz continues to really pick up. Remember, Election Day is November 5th. Well, the Virginia Department of Elections says that they have seen a high increase in voter registration since President Biden dropped out of the race and endorsed Vice President Kamala Harris. Election leaders say nearly 5,000 people registered to vote on Monday and Tuesday. That's a 39% more than the week before Biden dropped out. One political analyst says that there could be several reasons for the jump.
New registrations reflect either people who felt left out of the process and are now either excited or excited to vote for or against Harris, or they are younger voters who maybe were sitting out or didn't see a reason to join in just because Joe Biden was running, and now they're excited because of this new person, this new face in the race.
Well, one national nonprofit says they have seen a 700% increase in registration nationwide. People in Virginia have until October 14th to register to vote. 32 new officers are ready to serve Fairfax County. The county is celebrating its newly sworn-in police officers, and they say the class features unique diversity, including the ability to speak 8 different languages. Police officers have been taking part in the training academy for 26 weeks, and they will now be assigned to a district and start 12 weeks of in-field training. Well, just over an hour, the opening ceremonies for the Olympics will begin, and some D.C. bars are really commemorating the games by staying open all night long. Businesses had until midnight to apply for the special permit to serve alcohol later and stay open longer. This is all part of an emergency legislation Mayor Muriel Bowser signed. The opportunity was for certain licensed businesses to be open 24 hours and have extended hours to sell alcohol. One woman tells us she's excited for the increased amount of customers the games are going to bring in.
This area is a little bit quiet if there's no sports going on, unfortunately, so we want people to come out and watch sports.
Similar to the World Cup, not as big, but way more patriotic because, we do a little bit better than the Olympics than we do in the World Cup nowadays.
The list of participating bars is expected to drop sometime this afternoon.